Hey everyone, I've been watching videos about being a foreigner in Japan, and so this is kind of a response to all of them. Um, from what I can tell, it really just depends. What your experience really just depends on where you are. This is my second time in Japan, and the first time I was in Tokyo, and there are foreigners everywhere in Tokyo. So I wasn't stared at all. I don't think. I mean, I don't. I certainly don't remember being stared at all. Um, and this time I'm in Sapporo, actually in a suburb of Sapporo, and I'm stared at all the time because this is not a place where you typically see white people. Like most people know it's rude to stare, so they don't. But I mean, little kids, they don't know. So, like for instance, when I go to there's a supermarket about 5 minutes away by foot. So I walk there all the time to get something to drink, something to eat, and little kids, they see a white person, and they think, "Wow, I've never seen a white person before. What's he doing here?" But I mean, it's not that they're being rude. It's just which is they just not used to seeing it, which is something I've gotten from some of the videos. They're not being rude, which is I think is important to understand if you plan on studying in Japan. Because if you get placed somewhere where there's no white people, you're gonna attract a lot of attention whether you want it or not. Um, but everyone's really kind, everyone's really nice, and most people they will assume that you don't speak Japanese. Whether you do or not, they will assume that you don't speak it. Um, for instance, when I go out to a restaurant, if I go alone without a Japanese person, they will they'll give me the English menu if there is an English menu. If I go into the city, um, Sapporo is like the fifth largest city in Japan, I believe. So there are a lot of white people there, a lot of foreigners in general. Um, so most restaurants there have English menus, um, and yeah, they will assume that when you want to order, you'll just point at whatever it is that you want. Um, so whether however you feel about that, it's just the reality of the situation. I can speak enough Japanese to order and to understand what they're saying to me when I'm at a restaurant. And one thing I definitely don't expect is um, foreigners being able to read Japanese, and that's for the obvious reason that there are thousands of characters. Um, so, I mean, that's just one of the reasons that they expect you not to understand. Some people have said like people talk about them because they expect them not to understand Japanese. I personally haven't encountered this. Maybe I'm just luckier than the others. I don't know, but like I ride the train all the time to get into the city, and people never talk about me. At least not that I can hear. Um, I mean, foreigners aren't really such a rarity in Japan. I don't think anymore. I mean, even where I am, I mean, I'm in a suburb, but it's still technically part of a major city. So, I mean, people are getting used to seeing white people. So I don't think that it's becoming. I don't think it's such a rarity as it was before. So maybe they don't talk about people behind their backs. But I mean, Japanese people, they're not rude. They don't. I mean, they're not gonna talk shit about you. They're all very polite. I mean, even I remember the first time I came to Japan, I didn't speak Japanese very much at all, and thinking back, I remember they still speak to you very politely when you go into the stores and everything. Um, so they're not rude. Most people, I wouldn't say most people are racist. Um, you watch TV and there's white people and black people in commercials all the time. I've noticed. So, but yeah. So if you come to Japan, it's a lot of fun, and don't take anything personally. And I mean, especially the whole, if you speak Japanese, they expect you not to. No, I mean, don't take it personally. I mean, they're all very kind. But the other thing that I have been thinking about is, like, everybody assumes that you speak. If you're a white person, everyone assumes that you speak English. I mean, in Japan, up until college, everybody has to take English. There's no other language that you can take. So, I mean, people, everyone knows the, token words, hello, excuse me, good morning, things like that. And, I mean, so, I mean, people all the time try to speak to you in English. I mean, I don't know if it's because they just expect you not to understand any Japanese, or just because they want to try and speak English with a foreigner. But for instance, in Sapporo City, there's at the Sapporo station, there's a building called Daimaru, and I was going in there one day, and I opened the door, and there's a woman behind me, so I held the door open for her, and she walks out. Oh, thank you, and I'm thinking, what if I wasn't? What if I was from Germany or France or or any country where they don't speak English? I mean, I would be offended, but I mean, they're just they try to be friendly, and you know, I mean, people who speak English have um, a tremendous, what's the word? They're just having a lot easier than people who don't speak English. I mean, just everything. I mean, studying Japanese, there's so many words that are taken from English. I mean, yeah, you go to the bookstores and you find learning. There's like maybe one aisle or for learning, all languages except for English. And then you go and you find the learning English aisle, and you find that there's like 3 or 4 aisles, thousands of books. I mean, I think everybody, I mean, a lot of people in Japan really do want to speak English, which I think maybe feeds into why they always try to speak English to you, even if you do speak Japanese, or even just enough Japanese like myself. But yeah, if you ever come to Japan, um, it's nice. It's a really nice place, and everyone's really friendly. It's great food, and just I guess don't let the little things bother you. I mean, I don't let it bother me when I'm stared at or anything like that. So anyway, this video is getting kind of long now, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here.